You know what you need to do? You've known for months, maybe years, and you still haven't done it. That's not a motivation problem. That's something deeper. Every piece of advice you've ever heard about changing your life starts the same way. Set better goals, build better habits, find your why, wake up earlier, be more disciplined. And you've tried most of it. Some of it worked for a while. But here's what none of it addresses. You can change your behavior for days, even weeks. But the moment stress hits, or boredom hits, or real life hits, you revert. You go back to the old version of you. Not because you're weak, not because you don't care, because your identity didn't change. Only your actions did. And actions without identity don't stick. Here's what's actually happening inside your brain when you try to change. Every behavior you have is connected to a belief about who you are. You scroll your phone for hours, not just because it feels good, but because somewhere you believe you're the kind of person who does that. You skip the workout, not just because you're tired, but because the new version of you, the disciplined one, doesn't feel real yet. Psychologists call this identity behavior coherence. Your brain constantly monitors your actions and asks, does this match who I think I am? When it doesn't match, when the action conflicts with the identity, your brain creates friction, resistance. That feeling of I should, but I can't. So you push through for a while and then you stop. Because pushing against your own identity is exhausting. You are fighting the wrong battle. Stop for a second. Think about the last time you tried to build a habit or make a real change. Now ask yourself, did you ever actually see yourself as someone who does that? Or were you just trying to do the thing, while still seeing yourself as someone who doesn't? Here's where it gets worse. Every time you try to change and fail, you don't just fail the habit. You reinforce an identity. You add another piece of evidence to the story your brain is building about who you are. I tried to exercise and quit. I'm someone who quits. I tried to eat better and stopped. I'm someone who can't sustain it. I tried to change my life and went back to normal. This is just who I am. This is the loop you're stuck in, not just the behavior loop, the identity loop. Each failed attempt makes the next one harder. Not because you're weaker, because the evidence against change is growing. And here's the part most people miss. You can't break this loop by trying harder. Effort doesn't fix identity. You can't push your way out of a story your brain believes is true. So what does fix it? Not motivation. Motivation is temporary. It runs on emotion, and emotion changes. Not discipline either. Discipline is what happens after identity shifts. It's not what causes the shift. What actually changes your life is changing what you believe about yourself. Not with affirmations, not with vision boards, with evidence. Small, consistent evidence. Your brain changes its identity, belief the same way it formed it, through repeated experience. Every time you act like the person you want to become, even in the smallest way, you submit a vote for that identity. You don't need to win every moment. You just need to vote more than you don't. You went for a 5-minute walk. That's a vote. You put the phone down 10 minutes earlier. That's a vote. You paused, noticed the urge to go back to the old behavior, and didn't. That's a vote. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is accumulating evidence until your brain stops arguing what to actually do. You're not going to change your life by overhauling everything. That's the old model. The new model starts with one question. What would the person I want to become do right now? Not what should you do, not what did you plan to do. What would that version of you do in this moment? And then do the smallest version of that thing. Not the full thing, the version that requires almost no effort, but still counts as evidence. You're not building a routine, you're building a self-image, one that your brain eventually stops arguing with. You're not someone who can't change. You're someone who's been trying to change the wrong thing. Watch this next, because if identity is the mechanism, overthinking is what keeps the old identity alive. And that one runs deeper than most people realize.